Good evening. Here we are then. Yes, we are back together. And yes, as you can see outside at the moment, it is dark. And there is a very good reason for that. It's because we are now late and live. Yes, this is English Addict. Late at night. It is now 4 minutes past 10 o'clock at night. Normally, I would be tucked in bed, fast asleep, dreaming of nice things. Things that I'm not going to mention now, because there might be adults listening. Here we go then. Yes, it is English Addict, coming to you late and live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be England. And guess what? I have a special guest with me as well. Dooby-dooby-doo. Here we go. Are you ready?
Bonsoir.
Oh. Oh. Bonjour, monsieur.
Yes, well, Lewis was saying bonsoir.
Okay.
So I thought I would copy and imagine his wonderful accent as he was saying it.
You know, Luis Mendez isn't French.
I know, but I'm sure he can speak better French than what we can.
Yes, I think so. Here we go then. Hi, everybody. My name is Mr. Duncan. That's me, by the way. The other guy is Mr. Steve. I like to talk about the English language, and today we are doing something very different, very unusual, which means that things could and probably will go wrong at some point over the next hour.
Mr. Duncan, look outside. It looks very creepy. We might see a ghost go by, or an owl.
Yes.
Creatures of the night. Vampires. Who knows, Mr. Duncan? Oh, we will see. I haven't been drinking, honestly.
Okay, let's just... I know at the moment you are on 11. Could you just turn it down a little bit to around about 8?
How about 10, as it's 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock here, but in other parts of the world, we have seen people appearing at, for example, 7 a.m.
Yes, we have lots of people on the live chat. It's nice to see you here, by the way. We talk about the English language here, just in case you have found yourself in a situation where you are completely bored and you've decided to flick around the internet. Well, this is something that normally comes on Sunday and sometimes on Wednesday, but at an earlier time.
Yes.
So normally I'm here at 2 p.m. UK time, but today we've done 2 live streams. I can't believe how energetic I'm feeling today. So I'm back.
You see, I've said bonsoir, but that only counts for a small proportion of the people watching us. For Mika, for example, it's good morning because it's 7 a.m. So that's amazing. So it's no good me saying bonsoir to Mika because she'll think, oh, I've got to go back to bed.
That's right.
But no, it's not. But yes, we're hoping to see, instead of white vans that you might see on a Sunday drifting by on the far distant road, maybe tonight you will see an owl.
Yes.
Or
So this
some
is
other creature.
This is live right now behind us. Live. It's a live view outside, looking
Yes.
into the garden, and we might see a creature go by, maybe a moth, maybe a bat.
Francesco says, yes, be careful of Count Dracula.
Okay. Well, we haven't
yes.
said hello to the live chat yet. So once again, you're stepping a little bit further ahead than I want to be at the moment. We have the live chat, everyone.
I think everybody knows about the live chat.
But who was first?
Who was first? Let's have a look, shall we? Who was first?
Oh, very interesting. Guess what? Beatrice. Beatrice, congratulations. You are first on today's,
Well.
or should I say tonight's, live chat. Well done.
But if we look at the timing,
Okay.
I think 3 people are level. So Beatrice, Vitas and Marshmallow all came in at exactly 2200 hours.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, yes. I'm just reading what was on the live chat.
Okay.
So, yes, so maybe we should congratulate Vitas and Marshmallow as well.
I'm starting to regret this already.
Well, you know what happens, Mr. Duncan. If I come on live, anything can happen.
Your company did something very generous today. They treated us to a meal. They said you can have a meal, buy a meal, wherever you want to go. So we ordered a takeaway from the local Indian restaurant. And Mr. Steve has been very busy today doing lots of things. You've had your company day. So Steve has been busy all day on his internet connection.
Yes.
And now he's here at 10 o'clock at night on my internet connection doing this.
I
So
just don't stop.
It is. It seems like you have so much energy these days.
I know. As soon as I come on the live stream, all my worries drift away and instantly I am engaged. That's the word, engaged. At work, are you engaged? Is what we've been hearing today.
I never normally see you this excited about anything.
Well, I'm not excited about it. We're all a bit cynical. Those of us who have been at work in the same place of work, and some of you will relate to that if you've been working for an organisation for many years. So I have for this one for 20-something years.
20-something.
Yes. So you become a little cynical about the way that they conduct sort of conferences and things. You know, I've seen all that before.
Welcome to Mr.
Bored.
Steve tries to get the sack from his job. He does this all the time. He always says bad things about his work. One day, your boss is going to be watching this and you will get the sack.
Trust me, they're not.
And then you will be able to spend all of your time here with us. Ooh, that sounds...
My work is wonderful. My work is wonderful. I love my boss. I love everything about it. I want to work for another 20 years. Please, please don't sack me. I don't want to be live with Mr. Duncan every day.
Okay, Steve. Oh, just take it down slightly. We only have 43 people watching at the moment. I would like to keep them for as long as possible.
Marshmallow likes my. It's a shirt. It's a shirt. I thought I'd dress up sort of in evening wear.
It looks nice.
Yes. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I've never quite worked it out.
Well, it's just abstract.
Yes, it's sort of grey, cloudy day. I think what it is, it's a picture of a grey, cloudy day, and you're stuck behind a metal fence.
Okay.
Looking out. I think it's actually quite a dark, sombre shirt.
I think you look like a newspaper stand.
Really? Yes. Yeah. That's the other. Yeah. Exactly.
I feel as if I should be putting
Headlines.
Today's newspaper behind these lines.
Well, somebody's already mentioned about the news headlines about Boris Johnson.
Oh, for God's sake! Okay, we're not going to
talk about that.
We're not talking about anything depressing. So nothing about all of the things that everyone's talking about. Can we not have any of that? So a lot of people have tuned in to be cheered up, not to be reminded of how crappy life can be sometimes. Mika is here. Hello, Mika Ode.
I just said that.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. Watching in Japan, hello to you. And it's nice that I've got the chance to say hello to you live. Yes. Very soon, of course, in a few weeks, the clocks will once again be going forward, which means that you will be able to watch us again at our normal time because of that 1 hour difference. It does make a big difference sometimes.
It does. Palmyra's just asked a question. I used the word engaging.
Yes.
And she has asked, what does it mean? So it doesn't mean attractive. It means that you get involved.
Yes.
You get involved in something. Like you all do on the live chat. You see, I would say that, Palmyra, you have become engaged with the live chat. You're getting involved. And obviously showing that you are doing it. So that's what we say when we're saying at work, you must get engaged. It means you must get involved in all aspects, which you are.
That's it. The same thing also applies to TV companies, TV programs that are shown on television. So quite often they want to get their viewers engaged. So you are involving the viewers. Maybe the thing that they are watching has a very interesting subject. So hopefully this will be engaging some people. I know it's late at the moment because this is Late and Live.
Good grief.
What's that?
Wilson Michael.
Hello.
I'm watching from India. It's 3:45 a.m.
AM.
3:45, yes, because they're east of us, so of course they're... Yes, exactly.
Yes.
3:45
I don't believe it.
a.m..
I don't believe it. It's 3:45 a.m. It's 3:45 in the morning,
So
and you should be asleep.
you should be asleep. So have we woken you up?
Have you got work tomorrow
And
or today?
well, if you watch us for about 5 minutes, you'll drop fast asleep.
Yeah.
Think of it as as something to send you off to sleep in a lovely mood.
Hopefully. You will either have sweet dreams or nightmares.
Marshmallow says that their entire family are watching right now. Can we say hi?
Okay, hi to Marshmallow and all of your family. They are watching at the moment on the television. You can actually have me on your TV. Can you imagine us? If you have a really big television, can you imagine these two faces?
I didn't put any makeup on, Mr. Duncan. All my flaws will be showing. Let's hope it's a small television and not a big widescreen television.
I think it's going to be a big one. And everyone is watching us at the moment, so you will be able to see all of our wrinkles in all of the lines.
I don't have any, Mr. Duncan.
Okay.
Oh, well, yes. Are we having a pyjama chat, says Francesco?
Dear.
And Laura's asking, why isn't Wilson sleeping? Please tell us.
Well, we were going to wear our pyjamas, but unfortunately we sleep in the nude. And I don't think anyone is ready for that.
I don't want to know how you sleep, Mr. Duncan.
We are talking about the last turkey in the shop.
Now, Brazil, we've got Amori from Brazil watching. So it's going to be earlier in Brazil, isn't it?
Yes, South America is a few hours behind.
Maybe
And
7 or 8 hours, maybe.
And Asia, well, it depends how far away they are.
That's right.
So they could be 10 hours behind or even 12 hours behind. But ahead, of course, Asia. Ahead, maybe by 5 hours, 6 hours, or even 8 hours. Some people are 8 hours ahead, which is the reason why some people are now watching us in the early hours of the morning.
Amori says it's 7:11 p.m. So, yes, you must be to the west of us. And 7-Eleven reminds me of a shop that we see when we used to go abroad to Malaysia.
Yes.
There was always the 7-Eleven shop because it was open all hours.
Well, they have them in London.
Yeah, they do. That's right. Yeah. Do they really? I didn't know that.
They
Right,
have
anyway.
7-Elevens are everywhere.
Oh, Mika says, I'm looking forward to joining you regularly like today.
Good.
Well, hopefully we can do it at a time. Well, yes, maybe you're doing this before you go to work, Mika.
Yes, because it's morning.
7 a.m., that's right.
So now it's 7:20 in the morning in Japan.
We've got a lot to cover, haven't we, Mr. Duncan?
We've got a few things to talk about. We are only here for an hour, so make the most of it because we're not staying here long. I'm already past my bedtime. I should be in bed now, fast asleep, having lovely dreams about things. Earlier today, I was talking about the habit that we have nowadays of throwing things away. When things become old, or maybe they stop working, or maybe they break in some way, we often throw things away. We throw them away. We don't keep them. We don't even try to repair them. We just throw them away. So I thought it would be interesting to have a quick look at words connected to that very thing. So do you repair something or do you throw that thing away? It can be anything. Maybe a pen, maybe a very simple device, maybe something that you've had for many years and suddenly it stops working, it stops functioning and you think, what shall I do? Shall I buy a new one or shall I try to repair this one instead? So these days a lot of people do appear to want to throw things away instead of trying to fix them. I suppose also you could say fix up or dump. So you fix something up, you make it as good as new, or you dump it. That means you throw it away. Maybe you can make something new, make it as good as new, or you can chuck it away. Chuck away. So this particular expression is often used in British English. We say chuck away. You chuck something away. It's a great colloquialism. Or you can refurbish something, make it as good as new, or you can destroy it. You can just dispose of that particular thing. So what about you? Do you like to keep things? Do you like to repair things? I'm going to show you very quickly a story that I read in the papers, Mr. Steve.
Okay.
A man, let's just call him
Bill.
James. There he is. That's James, that is.
Right.
His name is James. We don't need a false name, because there he is. And if you look very closely, Steve, you can see he has his electric toaster. Well, there was a story this week on the internet that I read all about this man. A man who uses his 72-year-old toaster every day said he was embracing the spirit of the wartime generation. Jimmy James, I don't think that's his real name.
JJ to his friends.
I've got a feeling that's not his real name. Jimmy James from Stanwick in Northamptonshire said the toaster was manufactured in December 1949 and given to his parents as a wedding present. The 69-year-old said it only needed repairing once every 6 or 7 years. I know the feeling. Mr. James said, I was brought up by the wartime generation and encouraged to repair things and not throw them away. He inherited the Murphy Richards pop-up toaster after his father's death in 1993. The machine generally needs repairing once every 6 or 7 years, he said again. So Jimmy James has the idea, the thing that I've just been talking about, repairing, fixing the thing that you have had for a long time. Another thing, by the way, Steve, he mentions, he told BBC Radio Northampton that he also has a couple of old Convictor heaters from the 1950s and a floor polisher from 1958. I have a feeling that Jimmy James, or at least his house, might be burning down at some point. It doesn't sound very safe having heaters in your house from the 1950s. I don't think that sounds safe.
Yes, maybe yes. You've got to make sure you get the right fuse in. Well, interestingly enough, you see, here we've got Laura. Laura is saying that she was talking about this very subject with a friend recently. And this is going to, I think, become more and more popular. I think we're going to be encouraged more and more to keep things for longer and look after them, because instead of, the throwaway economy that it's become, because then if we want to save the environment, then we should be keeping things for as long as possible.
I think it would be fair to say we've become very wasteful.
Wasteful because, of course, companies want to produce things that only last for a certain period of time, because then you can throw them away and buy another one, and it keeps their sales going up and up and up.
Yes, it also keeps the economy moving.
This is the paradox that we're in. The paradox. Do you're concerned about saving the planet, but if you encourage people to keep things a lot longer, will it ruin the economy? How do you adjust to that as we move forward? That's going to be difficult, I think. Maybe we'll have to strike a balance. I've said many times on here about cars. we shouldn't be encouraged. No, let's say we are I'm not going to give my point of view. We are encouraged to change our cars regularly, and then get rid of them, and that just generates more and more cars. Because if there's, if you only keep a car for 3 years, then that's going to stimulate the production of a new one, etc. So if everyone keeps their toasters, there used to be a repair shop on the corner of every street when we grew up.
Yes.
There used to be a repair shop, so it looked a bit run down. But if you had something in your house that was broken, you'd take it to the repair shop. Someone would repair it, then you'd take it back, and you could keep it for a few more years.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because Jimmy James, in the story that I've just read out, the news item, he actually takes his 72-year-old toaster to a repair shop that's been around for many years. So that's how he's able to keep his toaster, because he takes it to a repair shop. Talking of repairing things, we have a slight problem with our toaster. Can you believe it? So we've had a toaster also for many years. Not as long as Jimmy, but if we have a look here, there it is. So there is our toaster that is now in the kitchen. Sadly, our toaster has started misbehaving.
Yes.
Sometimes it does not switch off, as I found out about 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
When suddenly the smoke alarm was going off in the house and the kitchen was full of blue smoke. And that's because the toast was still being toasted, even though it had stopped. So the toaster popped up, but it was still on, and the toast caught fire. So there it is. There is our lovely toaster. We've had this. I would say we've had this for around 26, maybe 27 years.
I would say so, yes. I would say we have. It was quite an expensive one. I bought it for you as a present because you hadn't got a toaster.
No.
And you liked toast, so I bought you a present about toaster. And I think that it's a high-quality toaster, and I think that we should get that repaired, Mr. Duncan.
I think it is repairable.
Definitely, because, I mean, when you think about it, they're quite simple devices, toasters. There isn't a lot to go wrong, so it should be easily repairable.
Yes. It's basically a heating element and a bimetal strip, which is something that heats up. And when it heats, it moves, it expands and bends. And that's how things turn on and turn off. So I think it's quite an easy thing to fix, Mr. Steve.
Yes, and a lot of people have been saying that they agree with us on this. Now, where was I looking there? Beatrice says that this is a good idea. Marshmallow is talking about recycling. Lewis says, I'm not very good at fixing things. But Alessandra says, I can't fix anything, but luckily my husband is very good at fixing things. I can fix things. It gives you a lot of satisfaction. I love something that you repair and then you can keep it going for a bit longer. I just love that. It just makes me feel good. It's the same with clothes. I don't like to chuck clothes away.
Yes. So sadly, our toaster needs repairing. So we might try to find someone who will be able to fix it. Another thing I've done recently in my office, right in here in this studio, in fact, my chair that I sit in to do my editing has unfortunately worn out, especially where I put my arms on the armrests. So if you look here, you will be able to see what I've done. I've actually put some sticky tape, some strong sticky tape on the armrests of my chair. So instead of throwing the chair away, what I've actually done is just put some sticky tape over all of the tears and all of the cracks. So I can still use this chair. I haven't got to throw it away. So there is another piece of proof that that's what I do. I don't like to throw things out unless it is completely useless. Something that does not work or does not function at all. So that's what I've done there with my chair, which is right here in the studio. So I don't like to throw things away unless the thing is completely broken.
There must be a fault with that chair, because I've got the same one in my office upstairs and it's got the same problem, and I'm going to have to wrap some tape around it. Mika makes an interesting point, a very pertinent point.
Ooh.
Pertinent
Yes.
means it's relevant.
Very
to
relevant.
What we're talking about. Pertinent.
Good.
Sometimes it's cheaper to get a new thing than to repair the old one.
Ah.
Well, yes, there is a conundrum. There's a problem there in that modern things are often too expensive to repair. And so you have to chuck it out in order not to waste money, particularly electrical items.
Well,
Wouldn't you say, Mr. Duncan?
If you remember, Steve, when my lovely big professional camera died.
Yes.
And I've got this beautiful camera. It's professional. It's everything. Unfortunately, it was out of its warranty. So the guarantee had expired. So I tried to get it fixed. And it turned out that it was almost as expensive to fix it as to buy a new camera.
Yes.
Which was thousands of pounds. So I couldn't have it repaired because it would have cost the same as having a brand new camera. And I wasn't going to do that.
I don't know why that is, because when my parents grew up and grandparents, you always fix things. I don't know, maybe, well, certainly they used to repair clothes. But then I think, for example, my mother always tells me the story about socks.
Yes, and so do you, by the way. You often tell this story.
It's passed down the generations, Mr. Duncan. If you get a hole in your sock, they used to darn the sock. Darning. That means that you'd use a needle and thread to repair it. Darning in clothes. And of course, in socks, you tend to get the wear points round the heel or maybe on the toes.
Yes.
And the rest of the sock's probably all right. So you would darn it, put some new thread in there, and you'd be able to use it for a bit longer. But of course, you've got to have time. You've got to have time to do that. And have people got time these days, particularly with both parents working in a lot of families, which they didn't used to when I grew, when my grandparents grew up, only maybe the father worked and the mother stayed at home.
Well, this is like your life story.
So, the mother would have had time to repair clothes and things like this, but people don't now, so they throw them away and buy new ones because they're working anyway, so they've got more disposable income.
And then the war came. Tell us all about what happened during the war.
And the other thing my mother tells me that she used to do, or my grandparents used to do, is the collars on shirts. For what used to happen is if it was a white shirt, for example, then she would just cut the collar off and turn it over and sew it back on again.
That's a good idea.
And then it looked like a brand new collar.
Yes. It's like underpants.
But of course,
when you've been wearing your underpants for 2 or 3 days, you can just turn them inside out and put them back on, and then they're good for about another week.
But of course, you've got to have time to do this sort of thing. Time. It takes time to repair things. And so Mika's made a very good point that often, that happens with a car, doesn't it? When a car is very old, then the labour costs involved in repairing it are often not worth forking out for. If you fork out for something,
that's a great.
If you fork out for something, it means you're spending.
Yes.
I don't want to fork out.
Okay. I hope that's not coming up as something rude.
F-O-R-K.
Oh, okay. Please don't make it worse, Steve.
Yes. If you're forking out for something, you're paying for something that you don't want to. You reluctantly.
Don't keep saying that word because the subtitles might mishear.
Fork out.
Don't keep saying it.
Well, it can't be that bad. The spell check thing, whatever it is.
It is on YouTube. Trust me.
Right.
The subtitles on YouTube sometimes come up very rude.
Louis XVII. Yes, duct tape.
Well, no. Actually, it isn't.
No?
I will show you exactly what it is we use right now. What I use is this stuff. This is the most amazing stuff in the world. Look at that. Now, I have become addicted to Gorilla Tape. It is amazing. I'm not selling this, by the way. I'm not being sponsored by the company. But Gorilla Tape is the most amazing thing ever. It will stick anything. So a few moments ago, I showed you my chair. And this is actually what I've used to repair my chair. But also, you can repair anything in the house, outside the house. You can use it for all sorts of things. Mr. Steve was getting very excited then when he saw it, and I know why.
Why? Why would I get excited about duct tape? Well, it's not. What's the difference between duct tape and Gorilla Tape?
This is not duct tape. This is a whole new generation of tape.
It is very strong. It's waterproof. I've used it to repair guttering.
You can use it inside, you can use it outside. On the outside it is waterproof. It's the most amazing thing.
I've used it to repair the gutters outside under the house so that the rain won't go through them.
The other thing it's very good for.
Well, I don't really. You can't shut me up, Mr. Duncan. You can't shut me up. Not when I'm on the live stream.
Well, I know that.
Anyway, yes, that's very interesting, Mr. Duncan.
So this is a good brand. By the way, did you hear about the girl? There was a woman who wanted to style her hair, and she actually put Gorilla Glue in her hair to keep it in place. But the only problem is the glue is permanent. So she actually stuck her hair to her head.
Well, Gorilla. Louis the 17th mentions Gorilla Glue.
Oh, I see.
In one of his posts there.
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah,
yes.
exactly, yes.
This is amazing stuff. So if you ever have anything you need to stick or repair, this is incredible. It really is.
Louis the 17th has got his finger on the pulse because, as you were saying that, he's mentioned it in the live chat as well.
Yeah.
Everybody, Beatrice says she uses that tape. You can repair anything with that.
Yes. So that's what they should use with aeroplanes. They should just wrap Gorilla Tape all over the aeroplane. And then even if it crashes, it just stays in one piece. Yeah, I think so. I think this could be the secret to airline safety. Just have a roll of Gorilla Tape next to you in the aeroplane. So just before you start crashing, you can get the Gorilla Tape out and stick it all on the inside of the plane. And then you'll be okay. Because it's so strong. It's amazing.
I keep things, Mr. Duncan, as well. I have a collection of things here which I can show to the wonderful viewers.
If you must.
Of things that I have had and kept for a very long period of time.
Oh.
Shall I go in order? So a lot of these things, see, when my grandparents died on my father's side,
Okay.
then I was sort of in my late teens,
Okay.
teenager, sort of 18.
Just a teenage boy and never been kissed.
True. And I was going to college, and then I was, they died, sadly, when I was around 19 years of age. And my father and I went to their home, and my father said to me, "And if you want any of their belongings,"
So what was that noise?
it's the curry.
Do you need
It's the curry, Mr.
Do you need
Duncan.
rebooting?
If you want any of the furniture or belongings here, because take it. We took a van. My father and I hired a van, went to my grandparents' house. My sister was 3 years younger than me, so she didn't want it. I was able to take all their furniture that I thought I could use, plates, all sorts of things, because I hadn't got a house of my own. It was about another 5 years until I did, but we kept it all at home. So I've still got a lot of their belongings, and I still use them today, like their dining table. I use it as my office desk. And I have their plates. So I've got these lovely plates, which I don't want to break them.
No.
They're all different colours. That's what attracted me to them.
Yes.
They're bone china. They're wearing a bit now, but they must have had these as a wedding present. So they would have been married probably in the 1920s.
Good.
So these must be getting on for 100 years old, these plates.
Yes.
Talking of grandparents, this is my grandfather's.
This is what your granddad used to use to pull your grandmother's teeth out with. He used to go, open wide, love. Okay, I'm going to pull your teeth out now.
People know I like gardening, and this is a pair of secateurs.
Oh, very posh.
Secateurs. It sounds French.
It is.
For
to divide.
chopping the heads off plants and little branches and things like that.
Secateurs.
Well, these were my grandfather's. I think they probably had hand sort of plastic coverings, but these are as good as new. They are incredible quality, and again, they're probably getting on for 90, 100 years old.
100?
There must be, yes, because I mean, he was gardening. You know, he was born in 1890 something. My grandfather.
I will send these off to be carbon dated.
For all I know, they were his grandfathers. They could be
Yeah,
more than 100
they could
years
be.
old. And I'm still using them today. You know, they've never even been sharpened.
They might be 1,000 years old.
Here is a plate. You can probably...
Well, it's transparent, Steve.
It's transparent. This is a plate. It's smoked glass. It was fashionable in the 1980s to
Trying
have
to show something that's transparent.
transparent or transparent. This was the plate that I had when I was a student. So this is...
It's not very big.
I know. I didn't used to eat, well, I couldn't afford to eat very much, but
Oh.
I had this plate as a student, and I still use it today, every day.
Yes.
It's a bit chipped around the edges,
Yes.
but it's very tough.
I bet this would make a very good frisbee. Shall I throw it and see what happens?
It's smoky glass. You used to be able to get smoky glass. Everything was smoked glass in the 1980s in the UK.
Everything. Glasses, windows, everything was smoked glass.
See, I keep everything. Here's an apple, Mr. Duncan. Here's an apple which I've kept in the fridge for too long, but I won't throw it away.
Is that your grandparents'?
It could be, yes.
Is this one of your grandparents' apples?
It's a bit wrinkled.
Yes, a bit like your grandparents.
Yes, so yes. But I use these objects every day. Well, not the secateurs, obviously.
No, and not
but-
the apple.
And not the apple. But yes, I just like to keep everything.
Okay.
Oh, right, here we go. It's so beautiful. Compliments. Yes, thank you very much, Laura. I love these plates. And every time I have a piece of toast in the morning, I think of my grandparents.
Yes.
Because that gives me... I like that connection to the past, to things, objects in the past.
I
like that physical connection.
like collecting very old things because it's like you're in touch with the past. I always like to have something old near to me, something from another age, something from a very long time ago to remind me that there was a world, there was a civilization before I was born. And that's why I have Mr. Steve nearby, you see. He always reminds me of the distant past, before electricity, and when we used to all ride around on horses.
Louis XVII has his grandfather's Swiss Army knife.
Oh, I was showing these earlier, Steve, as well, my watches. So these watches I am actually going to repair. They're not repaired yet, they don't work. But I did show these today on my earlier live stream as well. So I am going to try and fix these two watches. This one, of course, is very old. This is a present that Mr. Steve bought for me in Malaysia many years ago, around 26, 27 years ago.
Yes.
You bought this for me. It doesn't work, it needs a new battery. And
Oh.
this one I bought about 8 years ago.
I had one as well. They seemed like something from the future at the time. I mean, a watch with a calculator on. I mean, it was just unheard of.
Yeah.
It was quite something in those days.
It was amazing.
Yeah, back in the I remember when I was at school, calculators coming in.
Yes.
Because I was probably so I was going to school in the 1970s.
Okay.
So that's when when did pocket calculators first come in?
It was the early 70s,
Yes.
early to mid 70s, but not everyone had them. Of course, you remember the abacus being introduced. You're so old. Mr. Steve is so old. He was one of the first people to use an abacus.
I'm only 4 years older than you, Mr. Duncan. Yes, and we were allowed to use them in class, but we weren't allowed to use them in exams. So you still had to, be able to do arithmetic in your head or long division and things like that. And my mother is brilliant at maths.
Yes, you've
She
told
can
us.
add up a column of figures in no time.
Yes.
She'd be good actually for scoring if someone was playing darts.
Okay. Anyway, we have other things to take a look at before we have another one of Mr. Steve's long stories about his mother and the war.
Nitram says that I look like somebody famous and super rich.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Who?
Yes, I think this shirt is very,
I
I'm
don't
getting
know.
compliments.
I don't know who it could be. So I am going to fix my watch tomorrow. There you can see my watches and also the batteries. And yes, you are right. The digital watch is actually a Casio. There it is. You can see it now close up. And this particular watch was first released in 1995. Can you believe it? That's when this watch was first available, 1995. And I bought it a couple of years later, in around about 1997. So this watch is very old. It is almost an antique. And you can also see my other watch as well. That one is more recent. It's a more modern watch. And you can see the batteries that I will be putting in my watch.
So you're
some-
going to repair it.
Sometime tomorrow, hopefully. Would you like to see the repair kit? Because it's amazing. This is the repair kit
you sent off for.
for fixing the watch.
Look at that.
It looks like something from an operating theatre.
You could set yourself up in business, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, it's amazing.
In the town square in Much Wenlock.
Yes.
Watches repaired here. Come and get your watches repaired.
Come and get your watches repaired. Come and get your watches repaired.
We haven't got anyone that repairs watches in Much Wenlock.
No. Although we haven't got places that do most things nowadays.
That's very true.
Most of the shops have closed down. So there we go. That's what I'm hopefully going to do tomorrow, Steve. I'm going to fix my watches. We are going to repair the things that are old and worn out.
So you're not going to dispose of the watch.
I am not.
There's another word you can use if you're getting rid of something. You can dispose of it.
Yes. Dispose.
Dispose of it. It means you're throwing it away.
Yes.
It's a posh word. You wouldn't normally say dispose of.
I think you can. I don't think it's formal. I think you can dispose of something.
Yes, you can also use the word dispose in a sort of a dark, evil way to say that you're going to kill somebody.
Okay.
I'm going to dispose of them.
Mm.
That means kill.
The worst one is liquidate. I hate that.
Liquidate.
That's a horrible
Liquidate.
word. Horrible word. Liquidate. If you liquidate something, it means you completely eradicate it from existence. And you can use that word also when you are killing people, maybe one person or a group of people. You liquidate them. It's a horrible. I hate that word.
I forgot to mention Norte. Norte, if I've pronounced your name correctly, it says that they are by the Mississippi River.
Very nice.
I know. And whereabouts in? So are you? Where is the Mississippi River? That's in America, then, isn't it?
That's the Mississippi.
The famous Mississippi River.
Isn't it the Old Man River?
I don't know.
The Old Man River, that Old Man River.
Is that the Mississippi?
He just keeps rolling. He just keeps rolling along.
And asks, when was your first live stream?
Can we still sing that? Or has it been banned yet?
I don't know.
Okay, do you know?
Oh, Mika says, I still have a cassette player
Yes.
and a word processor.
Yes.
Yes, I've still got a cassette player upstairs because cassette tapes were brilliant. If I want to if I'm learning lines for a musical or a play that I'm in, then the way I like to do it, if it's a long scene, is I like to record the other parts and then leave gaps from my bits. And you can only do that on a cassette tape.
I suppose so.
What else can you do it on? Because you're able to sort of rewind and do things. They're very sort of tape is still quite a flexible way of recording things.
Yes, it's still used in some cases as well for recording high quality.
Next, in St. Louis, Missouri. How fantastic.
St. Louis.
Yes.
I know St. Louis.
Not St. Louis.
No.
Or St. Louis watching. Is Louis a saint? No. We're talking about St. Louis.
Okay. I have no idea.
Missouri. Well, you know what I'm... Yeah.
No, I don't know. St. Louis. I remember St. Louis being featured in a very funny film called Trains, Planes and Automobiles. I think St. Louis was actually featured in that when they were on the coach singing a song. I think John Candy eventually starts singing the theme from the Flintstones. And I think that is when they were heading towards St. Louis. I might be wrong, but I think it is.
There's lots of songs about the Mississippi River, the wide Missouri.
Jardel has vinyl records.
Ooh.
Put the needle on the record. Put the needle on the record. Put the needle on the record. That's what we used to say in the 1990s.
Yes, liquidate, says Nitram, is also used in business as well. Yes.
When you want to get rid of your stock.
Yeah.
So if you have a lot of furniture or a lot of things to sell, you have to get rid of it. You have to sell it very quickly. Maybe you owe people lots of money. You have to liquidate all of your stock.
Liquidate your assets. Turn them into hard cash.
That sounds painful.
Yes, it certainly does.
I can't remember the last time I liquidated my asset.
Or you can toss it.
Ooh.
Says Louis the 17th.
Yeah.
Yes, if you toss something, it means you're throwing it away. I won't do the action.
No, please don't toss.
There are lots of words for getting rid of rubbish.
That's it.
Yes.
But Mr. Steve does often throw things away, things that are old or useless, maybe old cans. He puts them in the recycling. So you often toss things, don't you?
Yes, well, I do a lot of recycling. I think we have to now. In fact, our bins in the UK now are searched to make sure that we are properly recycling sort of cans, bottles, plastics. You have to put them in the right receptacles.
The right bin.
We've got several bins. You probably have in your countries lots of different bins for different things so that we can recycle.
Yes.
Plastics, metals, and glass in particular, and cardboard.
Okay. I think people know what recycling is. We're constantly being told about it, aren't we?
We are.
Yes. I think I am going to have myself recycled, I think. After I snuff it, I think I'm going to have myself recycled into something. Apparently, you can be made into a little diamond now. So if you want to wear your lover or your husband or your wife, if you want to have them near to you all the time, after you die, apparently you can be cremated, and then they turn your ashes into a small diamond, and then you can wear that person all the time.
How do they do that?
Which I think is romantic. It's quite romantic, really, isn't it?
Not rather sad.
Having them near you all the time.
How do they do that? How do they reduce you to a diamond?
Well, first of all, they burn the body.
Yes.
And then you just become ash. And then they can use special forces. I think it's heat. It's a combination of heat and pressure. And they can actually create a small diamond-like crystal. And that's the person. And you can put them anywhere. You can wear them on your ear. You can have them pierced through your nose, or anywhere you want them to be. Very nice.
Louis the 17th says that they have old suitcases.
Okay.
one which they still use. Before they used to put wheels on them.
Ah, yes.
Because, yes, that's right, all suitcases now, particularly if you're travelling, tend to have wheels on the bottom to make it easier.
They never work properly.
Yes, they tend to break.
Yes, or they just
very
wobble.
easily.
They just wobble everywhere when you're trying to drag them. So I prefer the old-fashioned suitcase that you just lifted up with a big handle.
Yes, of course. In the old days, I used to have people who would sort of carry my baggage for me. I'd walk in front and they'd be following behind, carrying my bags for me. You used to do that.
I thought you were the baggage.
Thanks a lot. What about deep six? I want to deep six my old things. What does that mean?
I've never heard of that expression.
No,
If
I
it
don't know
is,
what that means.
if it is an expression, I've never heard of it.
No, we don't know what that is.
That's a new one.
Sirhi, sorry if I've pronounced your name incorrectly. Tell you who we haven't seen tonight.
Who?
Tomek.
No, well, I guess Tomek is now asleep. I think Tomek will be fast asleep because it's.
Where's his commitment?
Well, it's only Europe, you see. In Europe, it's the same time as us.
I know.
So I would imagine Tomek is now tucked up, fast asleep in bed, having a lovely sweet dream. I think he'll be dreaming about us doing this.
Yes, well, yes, he'd be wishing he was here. He probably is watching because sometimes people do watch and they don't reveal themselves.
No.
But that's fine. We don't mind that at all. But we really appreciate it when people take part in the live chat. We can't read all. It's very difficult for me to keep up with the live chat and read everybody's comments. So I do apologise if I haven't read everybody's comment. But if you want me to, if you're really serious, then repeat it again, and I will read it out.
Okay. Oh, by the way, guess what came through our door today? Was posted through our door.
Was it a cheque for £1 million?
No, it was not. It was the Wenlock Herald.
Oh.
This is the local paper, the local magazine that is published every month, and it is pushed through the letterbox of every house in the area. And you might not know this, Steve, but you cannot cancel the Wenlock Herald.
Can't you?
No, you can't. They will give it you whether you want it or not. It is actually impossible to cancel the Wenlock Herald. You can ask them, but they won't. They won't cancel it. They will still deliver it. They want you to have this. You have to read at least 2 pages of it. Sometimes they have people from the local council. They will come round and they will actually search your house and they will look for the latest Wenlock Herald to make sure that you've actually read some of it. It's true. I'm not joking.
Interestingly enough, anyone wondering what that magazine... You see, we just get it put through the door.
It comes through the door every month.
It's quite religious.
Over 60 years they've been doing this.
It's quite a religious magazine. It's sort of...
But it's for the parish.
It's for the parish, yes. So it's Church of England. And it's written by... There's always the first page is always something by the local vicar. Usually giving you some sort of worldly advice or his thoughts on the way that you should behave.
May I begin by wishing all our readers a Happy New Year. I share below some personal news regarding my next steps for this year. As many of you know, the curacy is a time-limited training period for 3 to 4 years. It has been a joy to serve my curacy. Curacy, that's how you pronounce it, you see. Curacy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you are a curacy, if you have a curacy, that means you are the local vicar. Or
Curate.
You are the local curate.
Or vicar.
Yes.
Yes.
So this particular man has been here. I think he's actually training. He's training to be a vicar or a priest. I don't know how you do that. Maybe you get some certificate or maybe a little medal. I don't know. But this is it, the Wenlock Herald, the thing you can't cancel. You can try, but they will still deliver it. However many times you try to get it cancelled, they will still deliver it to you.
It's quite religious, and it's got lots of adverts in for local sort of businesses.
Yes.
Who wish to advertise.
So
and
at the back,
presumably pay.
They pay, yes. That's how the magazine can be published, you see. So it's quite good. Sometimes there are some interesting stories in here. I am waiting for the week. I am waiting for the month, should I say, when we appear in here.
Well, if we do...
Do you think we will ever be in the Wenlock Herald?
We'll be in the page where, the naughty page.
The sinners.
The sinners. We'll be on the page for the sinners.
They will have a new feature called Sinners of the Week or Sinners of the Month. And at the top of the page it will say Mr. Steve and Mr. Duncan are this week's or this month's Sinners of the Month.
I think we'd automatically go in every month.
I think so.
By the way, the deep six means... burying somebody at sea at a depth of 6 fathoms.
Oh.
I don't know how deep a fathom is. Is a fathom so many miles or something like that? It's a long way.
I will try to fathom it out later. You see what
Very
I did
clever,
there?
Mr. Duncan.
Very clever, I thought so as well.
Yes, Bamboo. It is illegal to put that magazine straight in the bin. We have to recycle it.
You have to keep them all. They come and check to make sure that you have them. I remember a few years ago, do you remember 2 or 3 years ago, I made a joke. We were talking to some neighbours and we were talking about the Wenlock Herald, and I said, oh yes, I always keep the Wenlock Herald because it makes very good kindling when I'm lighting the fire. They did not like it.
Yes, it's quite, we don't object. There are worse things that could arrive. Yes, Louis.
I object to it. I don't want this.
We don't object. That Mr. Duncan's joking. No, we don't mind. We do read it.
Stop sending the Wenlock Herald.
Persistent Anglicans.
We don't want it.
Is an interesting phrase, Louis the 17th. Yes, Anglicans, of course.
How would you like it if I went round to your house and pushed something through your letterbox?
But all religions are fairly persistent.
I'm not talking about religion.
Well, I am. I think we're having 2 different conversations here.
I'm just talking about the Wenlock Herald.
I know. Well, I was reading out something that Louis the 17th said.
Oh, okay.
Because that's a religious magazine. And he's indicating that, of course, no religion ever gives up trying to convert you, do they? They're always trying to. They're always trying to keep you on side. They're all persistent.
Steve, it's only the first 3 or 4 pages that are religious. The rest of it is just news about the local area.
A fathom is 6 feet.
I just don't want it. I don't want it through my door. That's
I thought it was worse than that.
No reason. I just don't want it.
Yes, Laura. Yes, Anglicans are a branch of Christianity.
There are many.
Exactly, yes. It's just, exactly. Well, Mr. Duncan,
it's 11:02. 11:02. 2 minutes past 11 o'clock at night.
Do you know what we've got to do when we come off this live stream?
Have a cup of tea and watch Columbo?
No, it's not Sunday.
Oh, no. No, well, the first thing I'm doing is getting ready for bed. And then maybe we can watch a little bit of Bullseye.
Okay, Nitram, I understand. Yes, no, what about what might we eat?
Oh, yes, we might have some. Have we got some Jaffa cakes?
I bought some Jaffa cake donuts.
Some of those big Jaffa cakes. They're gorgeous. And Mr. Steve bought some tonight when he went to collect our lovely curry that we had earlier. Very nice as well. Very, very tasty. Lots of chicken. So that's it, I think, Steve. I think that is the end of this very unusual late night chat. Thank you very much for your company, and thank you also, Mr. Steve, for joining us as well. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me, Mr. Duncan. And we haven't seen, nobody's spotted anything in the garden.
No, nothing.
Maybe the wildlife has been scared off by the bright light.
It is windy.
It is windy, yes, we can hear it outside. Great to be here, if only briefly, and I look forward to seeing, hopefully, most of you at a different time on Sunday.
Yes. In fact, we are going to leave at the same time. So we will both say our goodbyes together. I will be back with you on Sunday. We will be here on Sunday. Mr. Steve will join in. Don't forget, we are back on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time is when we are back. You can watch this again as well later with subtitles. And also you can watch the earlier live stream that I did this afternoon. During the afternoon I was here as well. So actually I did 2 live streams today. Thank you very much for your company. See you on Sunday. Thank you, Steve, for giving up your evening to be here with us.
I expect to be paid later.
Okay, I don't know how. Thank you very much, Mr. Steve. Thank you as well for your company also. And we will see you on Sunday. This is Mr. Duncan and
Mr. Steve
saying thanks for watching. See you on Sunday. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do.
Ta-ta for now.